Hey there, Shakira Brown with another communications tip to help you maximize your results in your business. There's something that I have come across that I feel needs to be addressed among business leaders. It's about your message. Sometimes you have taken your own message so seriously that you haven't taken the time to uncover whether the message is going to be received well by your audience. What do I mean by this? I think that sometimes we feel that you need to be maybe a little bit more intellectual than what you need to be, right? Being intellectual is one thing, but saying things that are over the head of your audience is a whole other thing. All right. So what one thing could you do differently about your message? Well, first you need to take a look at your message and recognize whether or not it's still relevant today. What is your message? It could be your marketing message and what you go to market with, what you tell people your offer is. It could be your promise to your customers and clients. It could be your promise to your customers, clients, and employees. Is it still relevant today? Can you still stand behind it? Can you offer the same results that you did before? That's one way to look at your message. The second way is to look at the complexity of the message. Is it easily understood? Can your audience decipher what it means very quickly and digest it very quickly and be able to answer your call to action? These are the things that are important part of analyzing your messages. And as a professional speaker, I get to hear a lot of people sharing messages. And there's one thing I'm noticing is that the more simplistic the message is, the more warm of a reception they receive. And when you try to make something sound like it's better than what it is, or it's more complicated than what it is, you lose your audience. So my advice to you is to come up with smart yet easily digestible messages that your ideal audience can relate to and respond with a call to action. I know that there are ways that we have developed over time to share messages that work, or that have worked, and that have been of great value to your company. But even now is a better time to take a look back than any other time because mindsets are changing. Behaviors are changing. So you need to look at where people are and meet them there. Meeting people where they are is half of what you should be doing when it comes to creating your messages. If you have a message that's way out there and the person is just trying to get by that you're trying to reach, you're not going to reach them at all. So take the time to analyze your messages for clarity, purpose, and relevance. I'm going to say it again. Analyze your messages for clarity, purpose, and relevance. If the message is not clear to the audience that you're trying to attract to do something, then you need to take a step back and refine your message. If the message no longer drives towards the purpose that it originally was designed for, then you need to take a step back and look at, okay, so we have this message, but originally this was all about X, Y, and Z, but X, Y, and Z doesn't matter anymore. Does this message relate to what things are like today? And relevance. The relevance is based upon the needs and wants of your audience. Is it still relevant to what they care about? And I'm going to spend some time on talking about looking at what your audience cares about. It is easy to get caught up in your own beliefs and your own desires for your product, service, or your brand. But if it is no longer relevant or doesn't sound relevant to your audience anymore, you're going to have a very difficult time selling whatever it is you're trying to sell, whether it's a product or a service. So the message needs to sound like something that somebody today needs and wants. I talk a lot about needs and wants when I talk about sales and branding and marketing, because it is easy to believe that what you have, everybody wants or everybody needs, but that is not always the case. You can apply your product or service to the needs and wants of others as long as you understand what their needs and wants are. So how do you do that? How do you determine the needs and wants of your desired audience? Well, you have to ask them. And when you're asking them, what are you doing? You're listening. You're listening to what they care about. You're hearing them and you're seeing them, and that's what they want. If you create a product or service designed to the specifications of the individuals you want to purchase it, you are going to sell more of it. But if you're stuck on what you feel they need and want and what you want to sell and give to them, you're not going to get the results that you want. There is an example of this often. I like to use restaurants as examples a lot, because I would say restaurants, they go through so many changes through the life cycle of those types of businesses. And some of them don't even have what I would call a life cycle. They last maybe a year or less, and then they're gone. But what happens with a restaurant, let me just give this as an allegory to what I'm trying to talk about. You've got a chef who believes that their product is the best, their food is the best, right? And they're making what they love to make. What they love to make. And yes, they have had critical acclaim. They've got people who have said, oh my God, your food is the best, or your XYZ is the best, your specialty item is the best. And they're like, you know what? I want to bring this to the masses. And then they go find a location. And when they look for the location is the one that they want. It matches their budget. They can afford the lease. The kitchen is nice. It has a hood in it, so they don't have to buy a hood and install that, because that can be very costly. There's a place to, there's a nice dining area, front of house. Everything is there that they need. And then they outfit this place. They build it out. They have the tables, and they pick everything that they want. This is the chef, and then they might hire a manager to help. And then they're all picking out things, woohoo, that they like, right? And they've done the menu. The chef puts all of his favorites on there, the things that he knows people in the past have loved. And, again, this is all from the chef's perspective. This happens all of the time. And then the chef opens up the restaurant, and, yes, with some social media marketing, because they feel like, oh, people are just going to come to me. My food is so good. And they open up, and maybe the first week they get people to drip in. But then weeks go by, and things are slow. And there's people that they're serving are not coming back. Why aren't they coming back? Well, sometimes there's a lot of things that they don't come back because they don't feel that this has been made for them. And that is often the case with restaurants, because restaurant owners that are developed by culinary artists, chefs, they often create these restaurants built on what they want, not on the wants and needs of a potential restaurant diner. So what should you do? Now, if you've ever seen the show Kitchen Nightmares, or any of those other shows where some of the celebrity chefs, they go to try to survive, help a small business survive, or a small restaurant survive, one of the things they do is they'll do a taste test. They'll go and they'll mix some stuff up, and they'll go and bring stuff outside and have people taste it. That is a great way to find out what the community wants in the restaurant. that is a form of surveying the audience, right? And so if people it's like, you know what, I'd like this, I don't like that, then they could create the menu around what the community wants that will come to actually follow their call to action, which is to go and buy food and to sit down and enjoy and dine, right? That works. And that works for restaurants, and that can work for any type of business. You have to understand the needs and wants and create the messages, the content, the offers that meet where your customers and your clients are at. That is what you have to do. If you get stuck on all the things that you like and you feel people need, you're going to be selling nothing. And I'm saying this because I'm actually having conversations with small business owners who believe they have something great, but had not taken the time to think about who would buy it or why they would buy it and if they need it. And when I say to them, well, what does the customer want? What do they need? They don't know. They're like, well, I don't know. Okay, well, what are you opening a restaurant, or what are you opening this service business for? For you, for yourself? When it comes to messaging and your offer, it has to be tied to the needs and wants of your customers and clients. Get away from trying to create something that's your dream, that's only going to be just for you if it's not tied to the needs and wants of your ideal customers and clients. And it is the message that you have to craft that is going to resonate with them if you understand the needs and wants. So to bring it back home around to messaging, make sure you're crafting messages that tie back to the needs and wants of your ideal customer, because that your message should compel them to your call to take part in your call to action. If that's to buy something or sign up for a free consultation, it has to all tie together. So remember this as you are trying to figure out how to stay afloat during uncertain times or even in the good times. Take a step back, evaluate what your messages are, determine whether there's still the purpose still makes sense, if it's still relevant, and decide whether or not it is going to bring you the exact result that you imagined. And if what you've prepared has nothing to do with what your clients and customers want, you're going to have a lot of unsold services or products in your closet. All right? So take this message to heart. If you like this video, then please click the little thumbs up below this video. If you enjoy getting information to help you grow your business, whatever it is, communications, leadership, I've got a lot more to share with you. Please subscribe to my channel and also click the bell to be notified and so you can get the most recent and current information right away. And I want to thank you for spending time with me and listening, and hopefully take action. And I want you to comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you have messages that you're questioning right now that you think that maybe are dated? Maybe they are not relevant because of uncertain times that we're in at the time of this video, or at the time that you actually watch this video. Let me know. I'd be happy to hear from you and provide some feedback in the comments below. And feel free to watch other videos. There are some more videos that you could watch where you can get some more tidbits to keep you up and running and be profitable and to lead and communicate effectively and efficiently. Take care.